Hi there, welcome to the Earth's ecosystem. For this lesson, we will discuss what is endogenic and exogenic processes. We'll start with the exogenic processes. First of all, what are exogenic processes? Do you have any ideas? If not, here's the answer. Exogenic processes include geological phenomena and processes that originate externally to the Earth's surface. There are mainly two types of exogenic processes. These are weathering and erosion. First, let's start with erosion. But, let's move to a different location first. Hi there again. Now that we're in a different location, let's start with erosion. Erosion is the geological process in which earthen materials are worn away by natural forces, such as wind and water. Just like this boulder that I'm beside me. This boulder used to be this tall, and it got struck away because of the forces such as water and wind. Now let's move on to the weathering. Weathering. It describes the breaking down or dissolving of rocks and minerals on the Earth's surface. There are three types of weathering: mechanical, chemical, and biological weathering. Let's start with mechanical weathering. Mechanical weathering is the process of rocks crumbling due to rain, wind, or other atmospheric conditions. It is also called physical weathering. There are many types of mechanical weathering, some which are frost wedging, salt crystal growth, abrasion, thermal expansion, and mechanical exfoliation. There are factors that affect mechanical weathering. These are climate, rock types, time, rock structure, or topography. Chemical weathering involves the interaction of rocks with mineral solutions or chemicals to change the composition of rocks. It has many types. Some of it are dissolving, oxidation, and hydrolysis. There are factors that affect chemical weathering too, just like mechanical weathering. These are plants, animals, climate, time, and rocks. Lastly, of the weathering types is the biological weathering. This weathering is simply caused by the movement of plants and animals. After we learn exogenic processes, we will proceed on what we call the endogenic processes. Now, let's start with the endogenic processes. Endogenic processes are those that occur or created beneath the Earth's surface. You better have an understanding of the Earth's surface. Let's start by its layers. First is the crust. It is mainly made of solid rock, mostly basalt and granite. And there are two types of crust, the oceanic and the continental crust. When these two crusts are bumped into each other, they create what we call earthquakes. The second layer is the mantle. The mantle is mostly the bulk of the Earth's interior. It is found between the Earth's superheated core and the thin outer layer crust. The last layer is the core. The core is very hot and very dense, and it lies in the center of the Earth. It helps warm the Earth through its high temperature that seeks out of the Earth's surface.
The internal heat of the Earth. Well, let's discuss them one by one. These are primordial heat, radioactive decay, and gravitational pressure. Let's start with primordial heat. It is the internal energy heat that is accumulated during the dissipation of a planet in its early million years of evolution. We'll now go to what we call radioactive decay. Certain elements such as uranium and thorium go through a breakdown process and release energy, and that we call is radioactive decay. This radioactive decay in Earth's crust and mantle adds heat and slows down the cooling of our Earth. Now, under this radioactive decay, we have long-lived isotopes that give a form of radiation. Now, there are 4 types of long-lived radioactive radiation. That is the 238U, 235U, 232TH, and the last one is 40K. Now, we will now go to the gravitational pressure or the last internal heat of the Earth. Gravitational contraction produces heat by accretional process led to an increasingly greater gravitational compaction. Now, this forces the Earth to compact into a smaller volume. Increased compaction resulted in gravitational energy turning into heat energy. Now, after we discuss the internal heats of the Earth, we will now discuss and discover how it is redistributed. Heat is redistributed in 3 ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Let's start with the first one. Conduction. Heat transfer is the transfer of heat through the molecular excitement within a material without bulk motion of the matter, while convection is a heat transfer through the movement of warmer and less dense material that is rising and colder and denser material that is sinking into a fluid under the influence of gravity. However, for radiation, it is simply the transfer of heat using the electromagnetic waves. Before we start discussing about the types of endogenic processes, we will define what is endogenic force is. Now, endogenic force are Earth's internal pressures. These internal pressures causes vertical and horizontal motion. These include subsidence, uplift, volcanism, folding and faulting, and earthquake. Now, we will now go to the endogenic processes. These are faulting, folding, volcanism, magmatism, metamorphism, and earthquakes.
So what are they? Folding refers to the bending of rock layers due to compressional forces. Fracturing or faulting refers to the displacement of rocks along fault lines due to tension or compression. And magmatism refers to the emplacement of magma within or at surfaces of terrestrial planets, which solidifies into igneous rocks. It plays a key role in mountain formation, as new ascending magmas provide additional mass and volume for the Earth's surface and subsurface. Volcanism is an endogenic process wherein planetary bodies release their internal built-up heat derived from initial accretion, gravity-induced differentiation, radioactive elemental decay, friction from tectonic activity, and the tidal flexing of the crust and the upper mantle. Simply put, it is the eruption of molten rock onto the surface of a planet. Metamorphism is one of the only geological processes that changes the rock's form, structure, and composition due to intense heat, pressure, and the introduction to chemically active fluids. Earthquakes are the sudden shaking of the ground caused by the passage of seismic waves through the Earth's rocks. So to conclude our video, exogenic processes are events that occur on or above the Earth's surface, while endogenic processes are those that occur under or below the Earth's surface. I hope you've learned a thing or two on the two processes and their importance on our planet Earth. I hope to see you next time and have a good day. Cheers and